God, that blooming light, if it wasn't for that bloody glass. Why hello and welcome to a Bloody Fang-Tastic Show. Why, hello there, YouTube. My name is Lark, and I am a vampire, and welcome to the all-new The Bloody Fang-Tastic Show. And yes, I put my fangs away for now because, well, I'm here to review and give you a facts and mythos on vampire movies. And this month's movie, I am going with The Lost Boys. Yes, I thought I would start with a good comedy horror classic that is directed by the late Joel Schumacher, starring Corey Feldman, Jamie Gartz, Corey Haim, Edward Herman, Bernard Hughes, Jason Patrick, Keith Sutherland, Diana Weist, and Alex Winter. So this follows two brothers named... I can't remember, their names have just escaped me, who move into this new town after their parents' divorce, where they live with their grandfather. But on the first night, the eldest brother notices that he is seduced by a young woman, and then hangs around with a gang who turn out to be none other than vampires, until Sam seeks help from his new friends, the Frog brothers, Alan and Edgar Frog, and they tell him that the only way, well, they notice that he starts behaving strangely after hanging out with this gang and consuming what he thought was red wine, but is actually blood. And then, before you know it, he is slowly turning into a vampire, and to undo this, they must kill the alpha vampire, and of course, it will undo what's been done. So that's the essential story. So what did I like about this? Well, I've always liked that this is a good movie. It's such an 80s classic, a good time gem, and I think the cinematography is great, and I love the performance, especially from the character of David, played by Kiefer Sutherland. He was a good vampire and a good antagonist. I also like the makeup effects they used for the vampirism in this film. I mean, they make them look like the kind of vampires we see in the TV series of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And of course, I also love the soundtrack. God, it has such a good soundtrack, from, the song People Are Strange to Cry Little Sister and many others. And of course, I also enjoyed the performances from our young child actors in this. Corey Haim, Corey Feldman. It was just a fun film, and it had its good dark horror moments, which I also liked. Also liked the mythology around it, like when a vampire gets invited into the house, they all of a sudden are immune to every weakness a vampire features. If only that could happen in real life, but us vampires can't enter a house without an invitation, or the second our invitation is withdrawn, we literally teleport right outside the house. But do I have anything to dislike? Well, I guess there's some slow build in there, I guess, but other than that, it's a good 80s movie, and I do enjoy it, and it is forever immortalised like the vampire creatures ourselves. So, what am I going to rate this one? I shall give The Lost Boys... You know what? I shall give it 4 fangs out of 5. 4 fangs out of 5 for The Lost Boys. Now for our next part of the show, our mythos. Let us go. In this film, the vampires seem to look like blood-sucking demons when showing their true colours, with the foreheads and the demonic eyes and the fangs. But when they appear as human, they do so. They can also eat food, but of course does not nourish them as they feed on blood. Consuming the blood of a vampire as well can slowly turn you into a vampire. But this, of course, is easily lifted. By tracking down the alpha and killing them, you destroy your chances of becoming a vampire in this film. Also, if you invite a vampire into your home, they will become immune to all weaknesses such as garlic and holy water, and will have a reflection in the mirror, as we find out in the film. Also, these vampires can be killed by a stake to the heart, sunlight, and holy water, as you see in the film. But also, vampires in this do not have their reflections, and of course, they must still be invited in. But if you're slowly turning, you notice your reflection begins to fade. The town of Santa Clara does not exist, as it was a fictional town made purely for the film. The vampires were meant to be much younger, as it was paying reference to the classic story Peter Pan, as they were all called Lost Boys. This was also the start of the two Coreys, as the two Coreys, Feltman and Haim, became good friends and of course ended up having their own reality show many years later. Ben Stiller was almost a lost boy. He auditioned for the part, but he did not get it. The sexy sax man in the movie is a trained composer and multi-instrumentalist. And those are the facts about the Lost Boys. Well, that is it for this month's show. Have you seen this one, the film featured? If so, then do share down below in the comments. And if you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up and to share with your friends. And feel free to subscribe to the official Random Horror YouTube channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell. I have been your host, Lark the Vampire, and until next time, don't have nightmares.